Good afternoon. Today we are going to learn about passive and informed research. By the end of this lesson, you should understand that while most of us already have some research skills based on our everyday Googling activity, Google is not considered an academic database. Have you ever wondered how many times this screen is accessed? Google is the most visited website with 99,000 searches every single second. That's 8.5 billion a day. Of all the search engine options, Google holds 91.9% of the market share. Google is ingrained in our global culture. It presents itself as relevant, aware, and celebratory. It's even altruistic. Google is convenient, intuitive, and rewarding. And it's easy to use. Even a child can Google. Why do we gravitate towards Google? Because it is designed to feel natural or familiar. The AI and machine learning technology learn who we are by our search patterns and then provide results based on the personal biases we have indicated by those search patterns. Algorithms basically translate our language into computerese, and syntax and semantics extract actual meaning behind those patterns detected. An important reminder is that Google is a business and we are the customers. Google exists to make money, and in the end, we are the customers paying for the product. In studying how we Google, it has been found that 90% of searches do not go past the first page of results. If the same search is done on a mobile device, the majority of us select only the first 3 results. If Google has learned to give us what we want within the first 3 results, why would I even entertain the thought of conducting searches elsewhere? Because it's not academic. As college students, beginner academic researchers, you are being challenged to consider what you already know and what you have left to learn. The results of how you handle that challenge have an effect on your grades, and to a greater effect on what you actually learn. When looking for research, is Googling always good? Is it always the right tool? Based simply on how Google mirrors us by returning searches that match our language, I would say it definitely is not the right tool for an academic research. I'd like to give an analogy. Let's say you are being challenged by gossiping too much. You confess gossiping too much to a trusted friend in hopes they will help you get back on track. But instead of engaging in a sound conversation, challenging you with thought-provoking questions and honest feedback, the friend simply mirrors your thoughts. She takes your thoughts and responds with information that matches your thoughts. What does this do? It does not challenge your thinking. It does not strengthen your walk. Rather, the opposite happens. Her information match gives your tainted view credence. It simply validates your bias. Let's look at this in real life. First, we're going to look at some databases. Here's your library's homepage at Regent. Lots of information is wrangled within this site, but for today's lesson, we will simply focus on the databases. I'm going to pick one. This is Atla Religion by EBSCO. Keep in mind, all databases have their own look and feel depending on who owns it, but most databases all have very similar functionality. There will be a place to search. There will be ways to either expand or limit your research, and there will be places to filter. Notice in this example, I looked up the word gossip and retrieved 207 results. The first title sounds like it will talk about a biblical understanding of gossip and how to work on this sin issue. Each of these results, though, in this database represents information that has been vetted and is included here as an academic resource potentially worth using in your research. Now, I'm going to do that same search in Google. How many results are we seeing here? 296 million. Now remember, most of us do not go past the first 3 results when we Google. I see the second result is a news source. The title says, psychologists say gossiping is a social skill. Looks like research to me. I click and find psychologists say gossiping is a social skill. How to know if you're doing it right? How does this feel? I hope a little uncomfortable. In the context of life in general, feeding ourselves a diet rich in our own limited understanding is unhealthy, to say the least. It is really no different when we are asked to do academic research. The world is not going to stop Googling, but as university students, I would expect you to understand where Google has a wonderful place in your life and how it's limited when we're trying to do academic research. What are we to do? First, we have to understand what is considered acceptable research in a university setting. And then we consider what informed research looks like, strengthening our research game. Databases. Informed research learns how to use academic databases well. Well, what exactly is a database then? An academic database is an extensive and organized collection of specific information that is well vetted and usually is considered scholarly or acceptable to use in your research projects. For comparison, take a look at this chart. Let's look at what Scholar Terrell says. Today, the students in my classroom are active day-to-day researchers. I am too. Research and information are no longer available only in books and journal articles residing in a physical library or accessible through an electronic library portal. Information is at our fingertips 24/7. Each day we perform research acts as we run terms through Google, brush up on something on Wikipedia, follow the links our friends sent to us, watch videos recommended to us based on algorithms constructed from our viewing history on YouTube. In the end, using a browser on the internet is not a bad thing. Google specifically has proven itself to be an exceptional tool for lots of our daily curiosities. But do I realize my Google searches are designed to feed my biases? AI serves as a mirror to me. Do I understand that I am their customer? The purpose behind Google's strategies is to succeed in advertisement. Do I want to gain control over my academic goals, beginning with how I do research? Am I willing to accept this may be the harder route? And finally, are all browsers designed like Google? And if not, what is the alternative? Some browsers don't work like Google. Some do not collect your information the same way. Changing browsers may be a good option to help maintain control of the research that you do on the internet. However, let's remember, a browser is not an academic database. An academic database holds a very unique place in your studies as a student, and learning to do research well has a direct effect on how well you succeed in the program you are in. Ultimately, this research can lead to how successful you are in the field once you graduate from student to professional. We don't have to rely just on our awesome research skills. Yes, we grow these skills. We can take an honest look and determine how we can improve. We should do that. We are called to strengthen who we are designed to be. We are called to do the hard work. But we are also not alone in the process. Our role here at Regents Library is to come alongside you. But more importantly, by far, we have an accessible God. In our relationship with Him, we each have the Holy Spirit discerning, directing, and strengthening us as we test ourselves, as we seek to fulfill our unique purpose. Thank you for your time today. Feel free to reach out to any of your Regent librarians with any questions that you may continue to have.